to the Elevate blog. I'm here with Turesa Lewis. Welcome, Turesa.
Thank you.
Where are you in the world, by the way? I haven't asked you.
Well, I'm in the United States, in
Uh-huh.
the state of Michigan, the city of Detroit. So Detroit is considered the largest city in Michigan, and it's also referred to as the Motor City because we have the three major car manufacturers here, and it's a real vibrant city. So I grew up here and just pretty much stayed here all my life, and I enjoy it. I'm familiar with it, so
Mhm.
one of the reasons why I stay, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
Mhm.
And you're an English teacher. How long have you been teaching English?
It's been 10 years now. 10 years this year marks my 10th year. Um, it's really a fun thing. I started just teaching English to high school students, helping them prepare for the college entrance exams. And during that time, that's when I really realized that I love teaching. And it was just a volunteer type job, something I did on the weekends. And I did it all for 3, 4 years straight every weekend. Um, but on my job, I worked with a Fortune 500 company, and I wrote documentation. And as I wrote the documentation, I started sharing it with those around me. And then before I knew it, I was conducting classes on a regular basis on the side while doing my real job. So teaching just seems to be a calling that I've had, and I never went full-fledged teaching, but kind of felt like I should have, but it's just been something on the side. Excuse me. I have a lot of patience, and I think that's one of the reasons why I enjoy teaching. I enjoy patiently listening and finding out where the problem is or what the concern is. And as I teach, I'm looking for those areas. I'm looking and listening intently, and I listen so much that um, time later I'll repeat something that someone has said, and they'll say, "Did I say that?" And I said, "Oh yeah, I remember." I don't know if I should have recorded you or not, but you know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I see. So these days you're teaching English online. What kind of thing are you teaching these days?
Well, these days I just finished a contract with the mother and a daughter. They were from Brazil, and I would actually go to their house twice a week. And I'd spend I spend 1 hour with the mother and 1 hour with the daughter separately. Their lessons were designed specific with, a 14-year-old lesson is thoroughly different from an adult.
Mhm.
And her mother was here for a job, so I was helping her with business English. Um, we had lessons on doing presentations, um, lessons on just speaking in front of people. She was really concerned because her English was not good and she had moved here, and she was working really hard to understand what's going on in the meeting. So we spent a lot of time role playing, and I'm in a meeting and she's doing the presentation. We did a lot of that, and we enjoyed it, and that was my 3 months contract where I did 2 days a week, 1 hour each. And, somewhere mid-March, our contract ended. So once it ended, I continued on searching for other students, of course. I'm I volunteer with a literacy organization, and they'll assign me students periodically if I ask, just to keep my experience up. And because I enjoy teaching so much, so why not volunteer if I can't find paying students? So that sounds pretty crazy. My son thinks it's nuts, but
No, not at all.
yeah.
I started out teaching voluntarily, actually. Um, yeah, I was teaching a disabled refugee lady, and she'd been putting housing. She couldn't walk, but the council had put her in on the third floor, with no elevator.
Oh,
So she couldn't get out of the house. Poor
wow.
woman's kind of stuck. It would take a big effort to get out. So getting to classes was really hard. So it was my pleasure to go to her and help her with her English then. Yeah, I learnt a lot
Mhm.
from that. Mm. Yeah, but teaching, I think, yeah, you and me both, we love doing it because of the people that we meet.
Mhm. Yes.
Yeah.
And
Tell me
there,
about some of your. Tell me about your other students. You were telling me about your South Korean student you had.
yeah, my South Korean student, she had 3 kids, a husband, and she had only been in the United States a couple of years. We did venture off into a discussion about her becoming a U.S. citizen, and I explained the qualifications and what made her eligible before you even want to apply. You want to make sure you're eligible first. And so the students that I've actually helped to become students, to become citizens, I actually created a curriculum. And the curriculum is a 12-week course that takes you through the entire process. We do the interview and everything that's involved in the actual obtaining your citizenship. And my last student last year received her citizenship. And of course, there was restrictions where I couldn't attend the ceremony with her, but she sent me pictures, and it was just very exciting because we worked really hard to make sure she answered the questions and knew all the things that she needed to be qualified to even take the test.
Mm.
And so that was really, I was really, really thrilled for her. I was just so excited, jumping up and down when she sent me the text. And I says, "Oh, really?" Because when my tutoring stopped with her, I didn't know that she was going to continue to pursue it. She kind of was still hesitant
Mm.
because her English, she kept saying, those are things I find about many of my students are always concerned about their English.
Mhm.
And I really work with them so that they can be understood. I know I understand. That's what my one student told me. "You understand me because you're my teacher."
Mm.
And I says, okay, I give you that. But, you know, I think just working at it and building up that confidence is what really helps.
Yeah.
And so I'm really, thrilled with when I get that good news. I'm really excited for them. Yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely. It's great. Yeah, I've had students say that to me before. Like, of course you understand. You're used to learners, but yeah, the making them more confident that anyone can understand you is it's tricky as a teacher, isn't it? But
Very tricky.
that's what, yeah, we have to do.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
kind of focus on not so much the grammar part. I don't correct. I think I like to let them speak fluently first as best as they can. Even if the verbs are not matching and there's things they're saying, but long as they can fluently say something in English, I let that go.
Mm.
And, we work on grammar, but I pull it in as a fun thing
Mhm.
because, because I'm a teacher and I love English, I can go into the verbs and why they match and how they agree and why they have to agree. And I before E, except for preceding the C. So
Yep.
I get really carried away with it. And then it's like, okay, so yeah, I'm just the whole teaching part of it is just got me just so enjoyable, and I can talk about it for days. And once you get me talking about it,
Mhm.
I just can't stop, you know.
I can see that. It's great. So I mean, this is my last question for you, but if you could summarize um, why are you an English teacher? What do you love about it the most?
The most I love about it is being able to help someone conquer that hurdle that you just didn't think you were able gonna conquer it. My initial student was in her 70s, and she had been in the United States for some time. But she didn't feel like she needed to learn anything because she had her daughter and her grandchildren doing everything for her. She didn't drive, she didn't work outside the house. And when she told me she wanted to be a citizen, and when I helped her to be a citizen, she was like my very first student because I couldn't speak her language. But I did the best I could to understand when we had a conversation. And that very first student is what really helped me to want to continue to pursue it because she passed the test. She became a citizen and she was so excited. And in India, they have 28 languages. And her, she speaks, her speaking had improved it was like 7 or 8 months we were together, and it had improved tremendously. She'd ask me about my grandson and how I was doing, and we'd have a really nice conversation, and that just really motivated me. From there, that's it. I think I like to do this a lot. I'd like to, just have more students. One-on-one is what I enjoy more than anything. I have tried conversations groups a couple of times. Um, Usually in a conversation group, they're not motivated because everyone's from different countries. They're speaking different languages. And they're already because one lady just explained it to me. She says it's difficult enough that she's here in the United States and she can't understand English. And to sit in a room with people from Mexico and Spain and Venezuela, and they're all speaking their language. And she said that's not exciting, that she couldn't do that. And it was volunteer. They could attend the class if they wanted. If not, they didn't have to. And so after so many weeks, I'd get very low attendance. And that's when I realized I like the one-on-one because I can give you all of me in making sure that you are conquering your goals and achieving that goal, whatever it may be. That's why I focus on goals in my initial meeting and making sure that I fully understand what it is you're trying to accomplish when you want to speak English. I ask that question, and I ask it a couple of times down the road. I don't just ask it and leave it there, because we'll revisit it a second and third time, making sure that the goal that you've given me is still the same goal. Maybe it's changed a little, but if it's just to speak in meetings, doing work, just to do a presentation, things of that nature, and we can work on that. And I think it's better to focus on one thing as opposed to pulling all these things in together, because it's a bit too much, I think.
Sure. Yeah, my metaphor is like English is like an elephant. And like, you can't eat a whole elephant, and you don't need to. Then just take one part of the elephant and manage that. Yeah, otherwise you'll go crazy trying to consume the whole thing. It's not possible.
Yes.
Well, Turesa, thank you very much. It was great to speak to you today.
It's great to speak to you as well.